Hello, my name is Madeline Green, and for this creating project, I decided to use the virtual manipulatives and KidBlog. So I have chosen two different types of technology, so I hope that you enjoy it. Here is my rationale for virtual manipulatives. What my students will be doing is creating a baseball field using the virtual manipulatives. So what I've said here is the innovative uses of technology used in this project are virtual manipulatives along with a desktop or laptop. Students will use these virtual manipulatives to create and design a baseball field. A lot of research has to take place on baseball fields and which shapes will be needed. This project covers all of the two-dimensional and three-dimensional standards in mathematics for first grade. Also, it covers a lot of the research standards and writing standards for nonfiction. Once students research multiple baseball fields, they will create a blueprint for their baseball field. They will need to be very specific on which shapes they will need and explain why they chose them. Once the blueprints are completed, the innovative fun begins. Here is my lesson overview. I've said a little bit already about the students will construct a baseball field and use the virtual manipulatives to create it using the different shapes and things on the virtual manipulatives website. And they will have to research baseball fields, finding out, about the diamond and all the different shapes used for the bases and the pitcher's mound and all of those things. They will create a blueprint, drawing it and labeling it to determine the shapes that will need to be used. Once they finish their blueprint, that is when they will go to the computer lab and start their construction of their baseball field using the virtual manipulatives. I've put here that modeling is key, and that is so important, especially for my first graders or any young elementary students, because they have got to have that modeling piece over and over if you expect them to be successful. So that is a very important piece here. Once they make their field and construct it, they can label in the field, first base, second base, yada yada yada. They will print out their baseball fields and write a written summary explaining which shapes were used and why, and then they will present their fields to their peers. So let's check out the Virtual Manipulatives website. So once you go on the link here that I've provided, you will select a grade, and I'm going to select first, obviously here. I'm not going to use any backgrounds, obviously, because that's not what we're doing. So what I tell the students to do is to start with the color tile and bring the green one over, and that one is their grass, so to speak. So then you can blow it up as big as you need to, and just keep zooming until you get it, to however big you want it. And you can make it as big as the whole page there. So this is the grass, this is the starting point, and from there they use all of the different shapes and things. So here you've got geometric solids. They can use those. They can use, there's all kinds of different shapes and things for them to use. It's just amazing what they decide to do. Some use the color tiles and do different colors for the bases, or make those smaller. It's really neat what they decide to do. And of course, all of these things down here you have to explain, the pen tool, the labeling tool, all of that stuff. So this is just kind of an overview of what you can do with the virtual manipulatives. So, yeah, I think this is the one that a lot of them use, the little attribute blocks and things like that. So this is kind of how we start constructing the baseball field. And they will obviously use their blueprints for that. So now that you have an overview of that, we'll go back to the PowerPoint. This is the actual procedure list or steps. So this tells you that students will conduct research on baseball and baseball fields. They will use pictures, articles, books, and online resources for their research. They will be required to record all of their findings from their research. Students will create a blueprint of their desired baseball field. They will draw and label for a detailed visual of how they want to construct their baseball field. Students will need multiple practice opportunities on the Virtual Manipulatives website. Again, I have said that because that is very important. Students will use their blueprint to construct their final product. They will create their field and type in the labels. They will print their final baseball field and write a summary on the process of their project and explaining which shapes they used and why. And then they will present it to their peers, and each project will be graded using a rubric. In conclusion for this project, I really feel that this lesson is a very innovative way for students to learn about shapes while incorporating research, writing, and technology skills. And I hope that you enjoyed the lesson. Please feel free to give me feedback. So now that we've done that, we will start with the Kid Blog. Moving on to the Kid Blog. Kid Blog is a great resource for young students. This lesson requires students to use a blogging site called Kid Blog. It is a safe and easy blogging site for kids to start their blogging skills. Students will need access to a computer or device that has internet access. I picked this technology because it is a really great way for young students to get comfortable blogging and sharing their ideas online. Students will be required to create an autobiography using Kid Blog. They will include pictures and or videos in their blog. They will be asked to write about their lives, telling the reader family information, major events, and eventful memories. Students will first create several drafts of their autobiographies before creating their final product on Kid Blog. So now let's take a look at the Kid Blog website. You can sign up for a 30-day free trial, which is perfect for this particular lesson. And this is how you do all that. But since I already have one, I'll just go ahead and log in. And there we go. Alright, so here is the website or the Kid Blog class that I have already started. So as you see, I named it Autobiographies Miss Green, and you can go in here and individually add a class and put all of your students in here, and then they can add all of their things, all of their autobiographies, and then they can share and comment on each other's things. So this is a great website. It really is safe for kids, and you know, you can add images and all of that stuff. So it is just very neat for them to start their blogging skills, if you will. So you can just see how you can start all of that stuff. Great resource here. Okay, here is a lesson procedures for this lesson. Students will read various biographies and autobiographies to learn about them and how they are written. They will begin the writing process by creating several drafts of their own autobiography. Students will create a timeline to help them with their autobiography. Students will take their drafts into the computer lab and start typing their autobiographies and share them on KidBlog. Students will be required to add at least one image or type of media, video or whatever they would like. They will also be asked to comment on 2 of their classmates' autobiographies. This lesson is a great innovative way for students to introduce themselves to the teacher and their classmates. Using KidBlog will help them feel comfortable blogging and sharing their ideas, thoughts, and comments online. Once again, please feel free to give feedback, and thank you very much.